away 7 after 9 o'clock, rather. And Hawkfanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and the staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car, his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Oxyoke Inn of the Amanas. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Back from Cap Randall, it's Tom Suter, along with Pat Harty, Hawkfanatic.com. We got Coach Don Patterson on the line.
All right, well, Coach, good morning, and always glad to have you, especially after shutting Wisconsin out in Camp Randall for the first time since the Great Depression started back in 1929. So your thoughts about a pretty solid, dominating Hawkeye victory?
Well, it's kind of nice every now and then, Tom, to have a game that has zero stress. Mm-hmm. And we experienced very little stress in this game. I did think it was important that we get off to a fast start, and we obviously got that done. 17-0 after one quarter of play. No one would have expected that to happen, I guess, but that's the nature of football. I can't honestly remember a game in which two defensive linemen intercepted a pass either, but that also happened. Yeah. So it was a case of us clearly being the better team, and it was a fun game to watch because it was stress-free, and there were a lot of good things that came out of it.
And the interceptions were in the first quarter by defensive linemen.
I think back-to-back possessions, if I remember correctly. So, Don, as great as it was for Iowa, of course, to me, I thought the game said more about what's going on at Wisconsin or what's not going on at Wisconsin. I mean, I can't remember seeing a Wisconsin team that looked as bad as that team did, and even the rush defense, nothing was working. And, I mean, how would you explain what's going on at Wisconsin right now?
Well, they certainly looked uninspired.
That's a good word.
I'm like you. I thought Wisconsin's D-line did a good job against Michigan's running game.
Me too.
I was certainly hoping we could outrush them, but I didn't expect we'd outrush them by something over 100 yards, I believe.
Yeah.
And the things that happened, we talked about it before at the end of the Michigan game. The coach chooses to not even use his timeouts. And then if he didn't do it again, to me that's a fireable offense. Here they are, they're behind 37-0, and they're not even trying to score. Really.
Yeah,
They're just out running plays and not taking timeouts. It really defies logic.
And yet he survives another week. James Franklin doesn't. I wasn't shocked that James Franklin was fired, but then I was reminded that last year they won 13, the year before they won 10, the year before that they won 11, and he's won at least 10 games in almost all of his seasons there. Now he's 3-17 against the Big Two. He just doesn't win the big games, but I mean, just everything and he's getting $56 million, I think was the final count. What do you think of that buyout, Don? I think I would walk out the door too if someone gave me, Captain, if you give me $56 million, I'm gone. I'll leave right now.
How about
$56?
$250 million?
No, $250.
Okay, well, Don, explain the crazy world of college football right now.
Well, it is difficult to explain. I'll remind you, preseason number 2 in the country, Penn State, with all kinds of players back. And really the last 2 games are really head-scratchers.
They are.
I watched with a lot of interest the UCLA game, and all you could say is they appeared to be uninspired. They looked like they went through the motions, and we could rationalize and say, well, they had to fly all the way to the West Coast Well, it didn't seem to bother Indiana too much last week.
No, it sure did.
It's kind of a cardinal sin, I think, to lose in Happy Valley to Northwestern after losing to UCLA.
Just two inexcusable losses, but it just shows you how quickly they changed, and the fact that money is not an issue owing him $56 million. Because the new coach is going to have to get close to 9 or 10 a year. It's just mind-boggling how much money there is now, Don.
Yeah, you're right about that. But it really is a shocker. It did appear in each of the last 3 games that Franklin absolutely lost his team.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they were uninspired. It's like, of course, your job as a head coach, you take it very seriously. You got to find a way to have your guys ready to play each and every weekend. And for them to lay an egg 2 weeks in a row is obviously it's inexcusable.
Do you know anything about the interim coach, Terry Smith?
You know, I really don't. I don't know anything about him. I got to do some research on him. I was aware he's a Penn State alum, and I think he was the associate head coach. Some people were asking, does that mean that Kolnicki will be or of course their defensive coordinator is a very veteran coach. He'd be a pretty logical candidate over Andy. Andy's still a young coach, relatively. But neither one of them are the interim head coach. It's Terry Smith, and he was the associate head coach, though. So I know he and Franklin were close, and I'm
Been with him all 12 years.
Yeah, all 12. Yep.
Do a good job, a lot like our guy from Michigan did when he was named the interim coach.
Well, if I'm an Iowa fan, I would have preferred Franklin not be fired. You worry about them.
Agree.
I just think it could give them something that they haven't had the last couple of weeks, it seems like, which is a purpose. And I will still say Penn State's got a better overall talent roster than Iowa. That didn't change just because of what happened over the last 3 weeks.
Not only are they losing Franklin, but also Drew Aller.
Oh, I know, but Drew Aller's been terrible.
I know.
The other thing I worry about is the backup. I don't even know who it is yet. I haven't really looked much about the backup coming in and doing stuff. I mean, Don, you're the former coach. Explain. You know what I'm talking about, though. I just think sometimes stuff like Drew Aller was terrible in all the games I watched him this year. He was getting worse.
Yeah, he was not playing that well. And I really always felt, I mean, some people were talking about him as a draft pick and all that, and I'm thinking he reminds me a little bit of Cade McNamara.
Bigger.
Yeah, more of a game manager.
A lot bigger.
He wasn't such a dynamic quarterback compared to so many others that you're aware of in this league. He was a guy that could throw the ball to the guy that maybe could do a lot with it after he caught it, or hand the ball off to one of any number of really good running backs. So here's the bad news. We had a really good idea of the strengths and weaknesses of Drew Aller. With the backup, we simply don't know much about him. So it's going to be a crash course to try to find out what he's all about. I guarantee you that our defensive staff is looking high and low for as much information as they can find on the backup quarterback.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure, they'll by game time, sure, I think they'll have, I mean, it's not rocket science, I get that, but I'm just saying this emotional edge from everything that's gone on, if that's something that's going to wake up this Penn State team, because their talent level hasn't changed. They still have Devontae Ross. The last time he was in Kinnick Stadium, he torched Iowa for Troy. So but I do, this was a game going into the season, Don, I gave Iowa hardly any chance of winning. Now I give them.
Same.
Now I'm probably leaning a little bit towards Iowa. What do you think? I mean, I did Iowa. I just didn't give them much of a chance in this game or in the Oregon game and the USC game, and I'm still standing by my USC prediction because they throttled Michigan. But this game, I give Iowa a very good chance of winning this game.
Well, the innocent aspect of it, you would have thought we would go into the game with, if things hadn't changed on the Penn State end, with a lot of motivation and be able to play to win and recognize that we try not to lose. That'll get us beat for sure against a traditional Penn State team. But now the shoe's on the other foot. Now we're the hunted and they're the hunters. And they're going to be playing free and easy because they're no longer so accountable to their coach because he's no longer there.
Their quarterback is
concern.
Ethan Grunkemeyer, number 17, redshirt freshman, 6'2", 207.
That's who's listed as their backup on the depth chart?
Yes.
You know, that sounds like a guy that might be playing trombone in their band.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't recall, but I don't follow recruiting.
Like
I don't follow recruiting very closely. But if he's playing at Penn State, he was obviously successful in high school. I mean, that just doesn't. You just don't show up on Penn State's depth chart. My concern, though, is that Drew Aller. I think his biggest problem. He was a big time high school recruit out of Ohio, strong arm, whatever. But it just. Right. He was more of a longevity guy at Penn State. He was never spectacular, it seems like, in big games. And this year I just saw he was getting worse. And I don't know really what's happened yet to the Nick Singleton and Katron Allen.
It just never took off.
The best running back combo in the nation, and it just never seemed to work. And it's just been an odd season. But so, Don, were you shocked when you saw that he was fired, or did you expect? Did you think, oh man, it's only a matter of time for Franklin and maybe for Fickle?
Well, to fire a guy, of course, you got to have the money to do it.
Yes.
And some schools, frankly, that's one reason maybe that some schools haven't made a move when the handwriting is kind of on the wall. But Penn State can bite the bullet and cough up $50 million. You know, there's enough money to go around, I guess, on that end. So it didn't shock me. I mean, my God, you can't. To lay an egg once is one thing, but to do it on consecutive weekends. Mm-hmm. That's inexcusable.
Okay.
It would get a lot of people fired.
Now, what's going on with UCLA? I watched that game, parts of that game against Michigan State. They just had their way with Michigan State, and Michigan State's got problems. Their offense. Childs is not. He got hurt, but he wasn't very good. Their offense is really limited. They got receivers that are frustrated. But I mean, I think we have to start looking at UCLA. I mean, they looked pretty good, and that was in East Lansing.
You're right. And there goes another game to disprove that storyline that you can't travel 2 or 3 time zones and win.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
UCLA did it heading east, and Indiana did it heading west. So it can be done. I mean, maybe that's a positive for us in preparation for playing at Southern Cal. It can be done. You don't make, you just simply adjust your schedule. That's exactly what Indiana did. Signetti said, well, we'll probably head out a little bit early, but, we do what we do. That's kind of what he said. Mm-hmm. And he didn't address it as if it might be a big problem, and as a result of that, it wasn't.
So do you think Penn State's going to offer Signetti a $100 million contract?
I don't know. I don't know who they'll go to next.
Well, he's on the list. I've read.
It'll probably be a big name, that's for sure. And the first names out, of course, were a lot of prominent names in the Big Ten. So we'll see if they can attract them. I do recall one time the AD at Illinois State reaching out to me, and he said, I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me no, but I still would like to hear you say it. Would you consider coming to Illinois State? And I said, no, I would not do that to Western. I would not go to a school in my conference.
That would be
That's
tough.
That's the lateral move.
Yeah.
And I'd like to believe that the coaches that are on the list now from other Big Ten schools would feel that same way. It'd be a real disservice to their school.
Well, the name that's coming up is Rule, Matt Rule. Since I didn't realize he went to Penn State, I had no idea.
I guess I didn't know either.
But and right now they're 5-1. They look pretty good. That's of course Signetti's name, Manny Diaz, the coach at Duke, who's done a good job at Duke. He's another name. And then the best though, and I don't know if it was serious or not. And it was a legitimate Twitter. It had 40-some thousand followers. It looked like a legitimate. Said that if Nick Saban was interested in the Penn State job, they'd be interested in talking to him or something like. It was just, oh, really? Gee, it was. I think it was almost a joke. Nick Saban's 70. He wouldn't do that, would he?
He might.
You think he might?
He might because if he's 70-something, he's a young 70.
He is. I'll give you that. He is. How about Urban Meyer? That's another name. Those are the two big names everyone throws out there all the time.
Well, Urban Meyer probably. I would imagine there are times in which he's really missed the sideline. I think that's true of all of us that have ever coached. Once you've been out for a while, you miss it in some ways.
Yeah, I can see that.
You miss the excitement of game day. You miss the relationships with players and coaches on your own staff. Those are really meaningful relationships. And I got to believe Urban Meyer at times has wished he did coach longer than he had. I don't know how old he was when he retired, but
he's my age.
He certainly might come out of retirement. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what's interesting now. Oh, well, what about the age? Age doesn't seem to matter as much anymore because everything is season to season now. Nobody looks beyond the next year because with NIL and everything. So you can hold Saban's age. Well, he's not going to be. Who cares if he's not going to be here in 3 years? I want to come here and play for him right now. I mean, if Saban or Meyer, either one got that job, Penn State would right away become. They would be, well, it's not like they haven't been a power, but I don't see that. I think it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know, would Matt Rule be a good sell to the Penn State fans right now? It's not like he's lit the world on fire at Nebraska.
Well, they're off to a good start this year. He would probably be a good choice in a lot of ways because he is an alum again. I would say if you're one of those older guys that's trying to restart your career, probably the one thing you shouldn't do if you're in that spot, you shouldn't have a 24-year-old girlfriend. That's probably the one thing you shouldn't do.
That's I don't think Belichick's going to be on the list, and and I don't think Saban or, well, I don't know about Urban Meyer, but I mean Saban seems pretty rooted in that regard. That would be fascinating if Nick Saban went to Penn State. I mean, you wouldn't like it as a
me? No.
I mean, because don't you agree they'd win?
But I would be sure interested in seeing how it played out.
Well, it's interesting because on Twitter, since Franklin was fired, all these recruiting on 3, all these things. 5-star running back so-and-so just announced that he is decommitted from Penn State. 5-star defensive I mean, the guy was recruiting left and right. They had the number 1 running back in the 2027 class committed. Now all these guys are committed. But like you've said, Don, that could all change when they get the new head coach. How long do you think it's going to take them to hire a coach, and how long should it take them? How fast do they have to move?
Well, one problem, of course, with some of these guys that are prominent in the coaching positions right now, it's really there's no way they can make a move anytime soon
because they're coaching.
So if you want a guy to hit the ground running, so to speak, he's a guy that's available that's not coaching right now, such as Saban. Saban would be a great choice, I think. Let's just remember this too: Saban could also assemble an all-star cast of coaches.
Exactly, yeah.
As assistants.
He's from West Virginia. I mean, so he's kind of from that area a little bit. What about Pat Fitzgerald?
That's the name that was floating around Madison with their fans.
Well, I'm sure with Wisconsin fans. What about Penn State with Pat Fitzgerald? Is that a big enough name?
Well, I would certainly think it might be because he's got a great reputation within the Big Ten. Anyone and everyone would tell you that Pat Fitzgerald has always gotten a lot of mileage out of what you consider to be something other than an all-star lineup at Northwestern.
Just like their other coach did Saturday.
With guys that did not have big reputations.
Yeah, just like the Dave Braun's doing. I mean, Northwestern's 4-2 right now. It's stunning to think that. But no, Pat Fitzgerald to me seems like a logical fit for Wisconsin. But I saw some story with Wisconsin. They were just speculating if Fickle's done. They had Signetti. Everyone, he is 64 years old. In Indiana, I didn't realize how positioned they are NIL-wise. They got a ton of money. NIL-wise, and they're ready to pay him even more.
This is the highest they've ever been rated in their history.
And it's well earned because, Don, that game against Oregon, I mean, Indiana looked as good, talent-wise, everything. They looked as good or better. It was very impressive. Now, I will say, Don, I want to get your thought. Signetti does get away with a lot of ripping the officials. We talk about Tom Izzo or whatever. He went crazy a couple times, and they didn't give him a flag. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I am a little bit surprised. He's got to push the limits sometimes on the sidelines. One thing that I always remembered, of course, you can have great effect when you do go ballistic on the sideline. If you don't do it very often, I would say anything short. You'd like to go ballistic and not get a flag, and of course that happened in the game, didn't it? They gave him a sideline warning. Is that what happened as a result of?
Didn't he get one? Did he get one against Iowa? He should have. I can't remember if he got a sideline warning against Iowa.
I think so.
Because there was one time he
I thought he didn't he get one of the games all run together. Some coach last Saturday went ballistic on the sideline.
Well, wasn't it Matt Campbell?
Was out on the field.
Matt Campbell got a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, of course Matt got penalized, but only given a sideline warning. I thought it might have been Cincinnati.
I think you're right. I think it was.
Game.
Yeah, no, and it was well deserved. And speaking, I know we're going all over the place, but Iowa State, now all of a sudden, kind of the glow's rubbed off on them a little bit, losing to a 2-4 Colorado team. Did you have a chance to see any of that?
I haven't seen any of it. I haven't even had a chance to read about the game, but I do know this from watching them against Cincinnati. Of course, Cincinnati's a good football team.
They are.
But if you have injuries, specifically at corner,
which they do have,
sometimes those really cause you a lot of problems in other aspects of your defense.
It showed up Saturday.
It did.
Yeah. You can protect your corners and play with 2 high safeties, but now you've weakened your run support. And I think that hurt them against Cincinnati. I don't know what happened at Colorado, but you just don't. It's difficult to have great players at all positions, and if you have a couple of injuries at one specific position, such as cornerback, then that might cause you a lot of problems.
And I believe Carson Hansen, the running back, I think he was also injured too, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, a lot of injuries for them. Okay, let's shift back to Iowa. Gronowski was kind of what I expected. That's what's so fascinating about that game, was that Iowa had virtually no downfield passing threat whatsoever, and it just didn't matter. I mean, the offensive line was blocking so well. They just owned that game regardless of the passing attacks. But what did you think of Gronowski? Was it what you expected under the circumstances? And where are you right now with the downfield passing game?
Well, the disappointment in watching the game with Mark, it was clear that Mark was something less than 100%.
Yes.
There are all kinds of percentages you can assign to it, but he was not the usual runner that he is, for obvious reasons. And my fear as the game was playing along, let's get him out before he's a little more vulnerable to injury.
That's what I was saying.
Simply because he's not quite as athletic as normal and a little more susceptible to injury. So we've got the game in good hand. Let's get him out of the game.
I was saying that in the midway third quarter.
Yeah, we played him longer than I wanted to play him. I was hoping to see both the other quarterbacks as the game played out, because I felt this way. Honestly, if we played another 60 minutes, I'm still not sure that Wisconsin would have scored. That's how inept they were, and how strongly we defended them with our defense.
Yeah.
I thought Mark looked pretty rusty, guys. I think that's why he stayed in more than anything else. He just didn't look very comfortable even against that horrible defense.
Yeah.
But really, though,
there was a play when he pulled the ball down, he was running with it, but he was I think he really was tackled from behind, so to speak.
Yeah.
And again, you're more susceptible to injury if you're playing at something less than your full ability. And Mark was certainly in that category. Thankfully, he survived that particular play well. And my guess is, of course, he'll be better positioned to play this week than he was last Saturday.
Now, I will say his game was limited because his game, a lot of it is moving the pocket and running at times, what have you. But I will say, his downfield passing hasn't looked very smooth all season.
No.
That was more of the same. I mean, there really hasn't been much of a downfield passing attack. And it'll be interesting to see, okay, if you're Tim Lester, all this stuff going on with Penn State, does that impact your game plan at all in your mind, Don? Do you come out more aggressive? What do you hope that they do? Do you hope that they come out really aggressive against Penn State and try to go vertical?
Well, I think I haven't seen enough of Penn State's defense. They have a veteran defensive coordinator, as you know. Mm-hmm. They do have an injury on defense also that matters. A linebacker, Rojas, is out.
He is, yeah, and he's a good one.
But again, I don't know how critical he is to the operation. He was a veteran player.
He's a veteran, good linebacker, but
all over the place pretty much.
Injuries happen.
So I just hope, I'll put it this way, like you said, early in the game, I think Mark's first pass attempt was a ball that clearly sailed on him, went high.
Yeah.
I believe that was the very first throw that he made, incomplete. So you're right, we didn't establish downfield passing game, but we've dealt with that for most of the season. And
multiple seasons.
The good news, we did an excellent job of spreading the ball around.
Yeah.
We had 10 different receivers that caught passes. but it didn't amount to a lot of yards, of course. Just a little over 100, as I recall.
Yeah, it was not. I'll tell you what, Don, they got to get the ball to Nathan McNeil. They got to figure out ways to get him the ball in space because he showed a little bit of Ronnie with that 24. I mean, he's just got a natural gift.
He's good.
He is slippery. He really is. That was one of our 2 explosive plays. We only had 2. Incidentally, it's bragging on the other guy that had the explosive play, Xavier.
Yeah.
Nice to have Xavier back.
Yep.
2 nice touchdown runs.
And great run blocking. I thought the run blocking was incredible. And that's the part of the Wisconsin defense that had been pretty sturdy. But I'm not saying they quit because I'd never say that about guys who are big, tough, but they didn't look very connected. They didn't look well into it. Then Fickle comes out afterwards. This was a game we've been kind of shooting for because they've been doing those stupid push-ups after it, drills and the 40. And like I wrote, it takes more than push-ups and trash talk to win football games. How about the player coming out
at number
next
49?
Only had to do 37 push-ups.
Well, yeah, that's
42.
true. Now, they were joking that they should make him do 79, combine the 2. But how about the Wisconsin player talking trash to the Iowa players as they're coming out on the field?
And he got flagged for it,
He
too.
should have. It was just blatant. It was.
And he didn't play, I don't think.
I mean, Don, did you see that?
I did. And I was trying to figure out, who is this guy anyway? Did he even
Number
get on
49.
the field during the game?
No, his name was like Fenori or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that I've ever seen a penalty because one player is yelling at the other team before the game.
And the other team's not responding, really. They're ignoring him for the most part, which they should have. It was just bizarre.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out when that was. Was that when we actually took the field? Is that when he was yelling?
Yeah, they took the field for the last time. He's basically, as Iowa's coming out in their little, he's at the side of it just yelling crap to them. They're looking at him, and then they flag him. But it was just, to me, that's when I said Iowa's going to win this game. Because I thought that is a lack of just control from the head coach. There's no way Kirk or Hayden or you would have ever let a player do that. And he was allowed to get away with it.
First off, it's hard to imagine that somebody on the Wisconsin bench
didn't stop him.
Wouldn't have noticed this Jehu out there and gotten him off the field. I'm talking about him, any assistant coach,
yes.
Not to mention a head coach, or for that matter, even some teammates. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever, somebody.
It was just bizarre to watch, you guys. I saw him leave his team and just start
and it went
laying
on
it
for
on
at
us.
least 15, 20 seconds.
It was ridiculous.
It was. And then to be doing that on a team that sucks as bad as Wisconsin, it just was bizarre. And that's when I said Iowa's going to win this game. Now, did I think it'd be 37-0? But that game was over after the first quarter. Wouldn't you agree?
Did you get 17-0
The
with
game was over.
2 turnovers? Yeah, it was over.
It was just over, and the rest of it was, I'm not saying it was boring. It's never boring when Iowa dismantles Wisconsin. But Barry Alvarez said recently that Wisconsin fans are spoiled. Maybe they are, but I disagree with Barry right now because Wisconsin fans deserve better than what that team's giving them right now. Don't you agree, Don?
Absolutely. Well, to begin with, talking about sending the wrong message 2 weeks in a row, they don't burn time out last week.
I don't get it.
To try to get their offense back on the field, and it was very, very unlikely that they could somehow win against Michigan. They were down 2 scores with just a couple of minutes left.
But try.
But look, you still try.
Yeah.
And then 1 week later on your own field, it doesn't seem to bother you that you're getting skunked in the game. You should be moving heaven and earth to try to get on the scoreboard.
I agree. Just bizarre.
And you're just like, let me out of here. I'm done.
Well, the
reminded me, it defies logic. Really, you're sending the message. Finkel sent the message in that Michigan game. Yeah, I give up. I don't know about you players, but I'm done. Let's see if we can get into the locker room a little bit quicker so we won't use our timeout.
So we can start preparing for Iowa.
The fans, you guys were really beaten down too. They knew going into the stadium, at least all the tailgaters we were with, they knew they were going to lose.
Were you rubbing salt in the wounds after?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Good.
But and then the students stayed around for the jump around, and then they all left.
Oh, by the end of that game, I mean, I think you and Ann were the only ones left in the stadium.
Well, there were plenty of black and gold in the stadium.
But Wisconsin fans were, midway through the third quarter, that stadium was
starting to empty out.
Yeah.
I do have a good idea for Wisconsin this weekend when Ohio State comes to town. I recommend they did the jump around at the end of the first quarter because they might need it sooner.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State. I mean, I look at Iowa's schedule now, and this is kind of fun. I think Iowa's going to win. I think they're going to win. I feel they're going to win. Now, would I be stunned at that? Of course not. But I still think they're going to go 7-5 because I think they're going to lose to Oregon, USC, and for some reason, we'll see. I mean, that game at Nebraska is going to be really hard.
Well, they're winning the close ones. Is what they have been able to do.
Don, Maryland is just the ultimate choke job. They did it again. They had that game, and they just fell apart. But Nebraska's offense is pretty explosive right now. So, but even with beating Penn State, I can still come up with a 7-5 record. Because did you watch any? Oh, I think I asked you. The USC looked really good against Michigan. Michigan looked terrible. I was surprised that game was so one-sided. Were you, Don?
I didn't surprise me at all that SC won, but
not
I was
winning.
surprised that it was as easy to accomplish as it appeared to be. I'm just checking the numbers here. Let me look right quick.
I think it was 31-13, wasn't it?
Which game?
The
USC
Michigan.
Give you an idea about domination again.
Yeah.
Top 15 parameters, Michigan won one of them.
Yeah. See,
one.
Yeah.
And see that
SC won the rest. There might have been a tie or two, but pretty much total domination. Incidentally, that's what we had too.
Mm-hmm.
Our game. Top 15 parameters. Wisconsin won none of them.
Wow.
We didn't win 15. We won 12, and we had 3 ties.
Yeah. So yeah, it's amazing how quickly it just hasn't happened under Fickell. At the time, I didn't think it was a bad hire. It looked like a decent hire. But I will go back to the year he spent at Ohio State, and they went 6-7. Actually, 6-7.
Oh, they went to a bowl game?
I think they did. I think when I looked up the record, I thought, well, either way, it was 6-7. It was, and that just to me, that maybe that was a red flag. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think he inherited a good program in Cincinnati too. I do recall, they were good when Brian Kelly was there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know that Jeff Quinn was there too. My head coach, that was the O-line coach at Cincinnati back then. They've been a good team for a lot of years. So I think Fickell took over. He went into a really good situation at Cincinnati, and he didn't screw it up certainly. And that's what gave him a chance to move on to Wisconsin.
Yeah, and no, I mean Brian Kelly was really good at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's really good right now. They have a good. They have a good football program, and they have a nice stadium. It's a neat campus. Have you ever been? Have you ever seen the Cincinnati campus? Been on it?
Yeah, we played Cincinnati when I was at Buffalo, and we went in there. And it is a good home field advantage.
It really is.
And I don't remember the score, but I do remember we lost to them.
And I just remember the campus was a lot neater than I thought it would be. It's just a nice layout.
Yeah, it is. Let's not forget, State of Ohio is pretty good in football.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So, but as far as Iowa, of course, they're going to try to establish the run, and I have no reason right now to think that they won't be able to run against Penn State. How confident are you that they're going to be able to run against Penn State?
Well, we need to, certainly, and I'm fairly comfortable. I didn't see them as being off the charts good on defense. I mean, they're solid, of course. They're always solid, but they gave up 22 to Northwestern, and of course UCLA put a big number on them. So playing at home with our fan support again, I'd like to think we can move the ball well on the ground. We need to. One of my fears still going forward, we're still a little bit too one-dimensional on offense.
Yes.
And I don't know what we can do about it, other than we do have Vanderzee back. That helps.
That'll help.
And he looked pretty good, too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he got 3 catches, as I recall, and only 3 attempts, too, I believe. So I think everything thrown his way he caught. It's great to have him back. And, of course, in general, we've had some drops over the first half of the season, but I like to believe we're selling in now with guys that are showing that they can play, and we have a better idea all the time about what their strengths and weaknesses are. Here's another plus. Let's give Tim credit. Tim made an effort to get the ball to number 21 also.
Yeah,
he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, and it didn't have great results, but that's okay because, the potential's there every time he touches the ball. Mm-hmm. The potential's there for it to turn into something big.
I wish he'd start doing that more with Nathan McNeil, because I do think Nathan McNeil has shown if you get him a little bit of space, he's going to do something with it.
Absolutely. And people say, well, that's going to be hard to do. Well, you might want to call it a screen pass, maybe.
That's what I'd say.
There's nothing wrong with putting him on the short end of the screen pass, because with some big linemen in front of him, good things are going to happen.
But just get him in space.
You're right. Yeah, anything in space, absolutely.
And it'd be nice to get Jazz back. I mean, he's been out now for a while. I think you could always use more help there, but they seem to always have enough running backs healthy. That's what the great depth is, and I wrote about that recently. Yep. Liddell Betts left them in really good hands when he left here, and Nathan McNeil was his last parting gift. So running back, they're always going to have at least 3 healthy. It'd be nice to have them all healthy.
And they look really good, all of them.
Because they all look fresh. Like, Don, you always say, the importance of having fresh legs as a running back.
Absolutely. And truthfully, even if one of them is down, if one of them is down all the time, we're still okay. Because that still leaves us with 3 guys that can play. Right now, I'd say we got at least 4 that can play, if they're all healthy, I mean. And so it would be nice to get Jazz back, because they're all a little bit different. They all have different strengths and weaknesses, but they all can play winning football. I certainly feel that way about all those running backs.
Now, Iowa's in an important 3-game home stretch here, and when I look at it, I see Michigan State and Minnesota. Minnesota's not one. I don't believe it's one of the 3 coming. Let's see, they've got
PSU, and then isn't it Minnesota?
Then it's Minnesota. And then it's Oregon is in November.
Yes.
It's November, but I think when's Michigan State? That's
Michigan State's still a little later. I think.
But those are 2 games.
The last home game.
Yeah, to me, those are 2 games that I think Iowa's clearly the better team playing at home. I think those are 2 really good chances to win. I watched a little bit of Michigan State. Don, their offense, it's just not. It's not happening. It's not. Childs is having trouble throwing. They've got great receivers, but it's just not happening. I mean, they could do nothing against UCLA.
You guys heard me say this before. Playing well in November is all about your character. And that's one reason traditionally Maryland folded in the second half of the season. Michigan State's had a lot of those same issues. Doesn't bother me to play either one of those late in the year. And this year it's Michigan State. I know that doesn't guarantee that they're going to be something less than peak performance, but I like our chances playing Michigan State in November, simply because I have great faith in our character on our team.
And it's here.
And my guess is we have an edge in terms of character versus Michigan State and Maryland.
And then Minnesota.
If we played them.
Yeah, Minnesota, to me, it's a typical 7-8 win Minnesota team, and Iowa has consistently beaten those types of Minnesota teams. I think they're 4-2 now. They held off Purdue 27-20. Purdue's much better now than they were a year ago, but Minnesota found a way to win the game at home.
So it is Penn State, followed by Minnesota, and then the second bye.
The second bye.
And then Oregon.
Then Oregon, and then is it Michigan State? No, then it's USC, then USC, Michigan State, then Nebraska.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at the analytics from Minnesota and Purdue. Purdue actually won more of the top 15 parameters than Minnesota did.
Yeah, it was an even game.
Minnesota won 6, Purdue won 7.
Yeah,
a game that could have gone either way.
I mean, there were times last year I'd watch Purdue on offense and they were lifeless. They had nothing. This Ryan Brown, he's a good quarterback. Every time I watch him, they're at least competitive. They're in the game. No, Minnesota was fortunate to win that game at home, but they did. They found a way to win. But Minnesota.
Yeah, we're in that Minnesota-Purdue game. Purdue was down the goal line on the last play of the game. I mean, they had a chance to win the game. They'd have to score a touchdown and of course, go for 2 or beat them in overtime. But that game was absolutely a coin flip. It could have gone either way.
And I believe it was in Minneapolis, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
So Minnesota and Michigan State to me are the 2. Easy's not the right word. Most winnable games left on Iowa. I'm still giving Penn State a little bit of an edge over them. Plus, I'm still thinking that Penn State's going to rally around this, and how long it lasts. I mean, do you think am I giving too much on that, Don, or do you expect Penn State to come out and just fold Saturday, or have a spirited effort? What do you think?
Well, you've heard of this analogy. The last thing you want to do is be confronted with a caged animal. I'm sorry, a cornered animal is a better way to say it.
A cornered, wounded animal.
Yeah, a wounded animal. Yeah, because if you corner an animal, what's he going to do? It's going to fight back. And so you worry that Penn State will have a fanatical effort. You know, it's a mystery to me. I really felt that in the last 2 weeks, it appeared that the coach had lost his team. You know, he wasn't inspiring his team, and you like it or not, some people say, well, you know, you just show up and you play. You know, motivational talks are overrated. I'm sorry. Hayden probably didn't feel that way. Hayden probably was a master psychologist, and I know this. My players have told me, Coach, those talks always mattered. I remember one time, you'll laugh, but it's true, at a halftime at Indiana State, we were a really good team, and they were not so good. And we were behind at the half. And we bounced back and won the game. This was at Indiana State. But I said some things at halftime that I don't normally say. I'll let it go at that. You can use your imagination. And after the game, I said to our team, I have to apologize to you guys because I used some language at halftime that I don't use. You know that I don't use those words. But I will remind you, I was in the Army for quite a while, so I know all the words. And I apologize that I used some of them at halftime. And afterward, the players individually came up in different times and said, Coach, it was okay. We knew you were really, really mad, and it really got us going for that second half. And I said, well, it was maybe that was part of it, but I think also I did mention at halftime, we don't have to go to the Beef House for a post-game meal. We can just stop by McDonald's somewhere. And I jokingly said that was the motivation. You guys didn't want to miss out on the Beef House. If you've been to the Beef House, you know what I'm talking about.
I've been there many times.
It's like,
many times.
Right
Exit 4, Covington, Indiana.
Yeah.
So, Don, how many times would you say you went there with Western Illinois as a team? And was that a routine occurrence?
Yeah, we played at Indiana State, and the game, we never lost to Indiana State in all my years there, but if we would have lost to them, I would have absolutely gone to McDonald's. I would have called up. I'm not beating up on McDonald's. I like McDonald's.
Sure.
But, we're going to
the Beef House.
Food place, and that's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to the Beef House at times when there was one time the Purdue basketball team was there. One time the Illinois basketball team was there. Yeah, I haven't been there for a while because I don't travel as much. But, no, I was amazed, Don, at how big it is. I mean, it's just, it goes on forever. There's tables everywhere in that place.
Yeah, they can serve a lot of people, and I think anybody that's been up and down I-74 knows about the Beef House.
Yeah, and Tom, you've never been there.
I have never been there.
Is it on your bucket list? That or Australia? Beef House or Australia?
Beef House.
All right. Okay, all right. Let's get back to the game Saturday, this coming Saturday. We've moved on from Wisconsin. Turnovers, of course, that's always the thing that's hanging out there. That's what basically doomed Wisconsin, but I don't think it would have mattered. I think Iowa was going to beat them anyway. Turnover battle Saturday, that's going to be big, but how much of this is going to be on Gronowski, Don? Is this one of those games where he's got to rise up and say, this is why I came here, this is why they're paying me, let's get it done? This is obviously one of those games.
Yeah, let me give you another analogy, talking about how teams react to losing their coach. One of the things I always remember about Iowa athletics, when the basketball team realized that Tom Davis was only going to have the rest of this season, they played like they were absolutely on a mission. You might remember that.
I was there for
our
it.
record that year was something like 30-5, and they sent Tom Davis out the right way. Our players were determined to be sure that the fans understood this was not Coach Davis's fault.
That was the last trip to the Sweet 16, 1999. Yep. They got beat by, I believe got beat by Connecticut, I think. Because I remember out in Denver.
I guess it's conceivable that Penn State feels that way about James Franklin. I did read with some interest there are a lot of players that are posting stuff about this not being fair to Coach Franklin and showing support for him.
I've seen a lot of that. On the surface,
he looks like a guy that'd be kind of hard to like. You know, make that comment about him. But maybe his players feel entirely differently. I don't think so, simply because if they did, wouldn't they have had a fanatical effort at least in response to the UCLA game.
Yeah, no, but what I've read though is this the Terry Smith guy. That's what I've read. The players really like this guy. This guy's been an important sort of a behind the scenes kind of guy, but sometimes the player coach guy is not the right answer either way. But I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We don't know how the Penn State players are, because you're saying you're hearing that they're not sad that he's gone.
It's been a mixed bag that I've seen. And
I haven't seen one player say he's glad that James Franklin's gone. I have not seen. Where have you seen that?
Well, I've seen it mostly the fans.
Well, the fans are not. We're talking about the players. The fans aren't playing Saturday.
Well, I think your disgruntled players aren't going to say a peep.
But we don't know how. We're just assuming they're disgruntled. I'm guessing most of the players are pissed off their head coach is gone. They came there to play for James Franklin.
Yeah, I suspect that's true.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
We might say from the outside, he's not a very likable guy.
Yeah,
the players probably feel differently about him. I don't know that, but that's just my guess. His loyalty should be, and probably has been, to the players.
Well, and I also think maybe some Iowa fans are trying to kind of figure out the right scenario that's going to lead to less resistance and a win on Saturday, and that's but 3 weeks ago,
You bring up another good point, though, too, Pat, talking about the interim coach. Let's think back to Shalon. Is it Shalon? Is that right? Shalon Moore?
Shalon Moore.
Shalon,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
As an interim coach, they liked him.
Yep.
Right? Players clearly liked him. Here's another guy. As an interim coach, the guy at UCLA, clearly the players like him.
Tim Skipper, and of course, although you'd think Jerry Neuheisel's the interim coach, because they keep focusing on him and they barely mention Tim Skipper. But no, you're right. And another one I remember. How about when Jeff Horton was the interim head coach for Minnesota back in 2010? A 2-8 or a 1-8 or 2-9, and they ended up beating Iowa. That's my concern. Think about it. 3 weeks ago, Penn State was leading Oregon 24-17 going to the fourth quarter. They were ranked third in the nation, and they were undefeated. And they had finished 13-2 and been in the semifinals. I mean, I've never seen something fall. Just 3 weeks ago, they were a model program. It's amazing how quickly it's changed.
There were some warning signs in the early season, though, because they were winning but not winning.
Well, yeah, Drew Aller has never played well this year.
With any style points.
Hey, Drew Aller has never played well this year, and that's a reflection of the head coach. It has to be. He was getting worse.
Yeah. So if you think about it, well, you're pretty impressed that Penn State could go toe-to-toe with Oregon, and then a couple of weeks later you see Indiana go to the West Coast and beat Oregon on their own field.
Yeah.
So, they put their pants on one leg at a time, too.
Well, Iowa, you could argue that Iowa put up more resistance. I mean, Iowa was as competitive or more competitive at home against Indiana than Oregon. Oregon won that game. Indiana won out there by 10. They won at Iowa by 5. I mean, granted, they gave them 2 at the end. But no,
they have those odds of winning the game things they put on the TV screen as the game. I think even games in progress. I think they even do that, don't they?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's nonstop.
Yeah. So my only point is this. At the end of the Indiana game, with a couple of minutes left, we intercept the pass. We're already in plus territory. The odds of us winning that game, I'll promise you, with Drew Stevens as our kicker, the odds of us winning that game are very high. Worst case scenario, we fail to convert on the screen pass, and we have to take it a 42-yard field goal, and we miss it. But the other more likely scenario, if it's 42 yards, he makes it. That's more likely than he misses it. He's going to make more than half those. You can bet on that.
Sure, yeah.
And then to go one step further, if we convert on the screen pass, at the very least it's a new set of downs, and now it's a chip shot field goal on the last play of the game, and now we're even more likely to end the game with a win. So Indiana knows they were very lucky to get out of Dodge with a win
without question. No, that's been their toughest game. And another thing you could almost argue is I think Penn State will benefit from not playing at home this week. I mean, because like Tom brought up, most fans, it seems like, now the fans that go on Twitter, if you can judge on social media, but I think most fans are ready to move on from James Franklin. And
Tom, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Here's a good example in my mind. Think about Wisconsin. They're in the Big House playing against Michigan, and they look pretty inspired and pretty fired up. Well, there's 105,000 people watching. Mm-hmm. And then 1 week later, they go back to Camp Randall. And I don't know. I couldn't tell. It looked like it was pretty full at game time. But the bottom line, they know that their fans are disillusioned.
Oh, without
with
question.
the Wisconsin Badger football team. And they're disappointed that they don't have a roaring crowd. I don't doubt that it was loud at kickoff in Camp Randall, but not quite as loud as on the road against Michigan.
I don't think he's coaching there next year. I don't think he survives this because I don't know. I don't know if he's going to win another game. But it'll be interesting. If you're Wisconsin, do you want to be hiring a coach at the same time as Penn State? Does that matter?
Well, I'd rather get the job on Penn State if I could. Maybe I could get the guy that they want.
I'm actually surprised Fickle didn't get the axe before Franklin, to be honest with
you. Okay, here's what the Wisconsin fans told me, and some of them are fairly well plugged in, okay? Uh-huh. And that is at I think it's December 1st, then things to the buyout changes and a lot of money, and their athletic department evidently is not swimming in cash for whatever reason.
And NIL hasn't been a big success up there for whatever reason.
No.
So
they can save themselves a lot of money just by waiting until the 1st of December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah, I've heard about those contracts sometimes reading that way.
Coach, you got a phone call here. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I got a kind of a technical question. I'm wondering about Indiana. I don't know whether you've noticed, and maybe I'm just being too picky in listening and watching it, but it seems like whenever Indiana needed a huge play, they go to that wide receiver. I think it's 33, Surratt.
Yes.
13.
Number 13.
He is always single covered. They want a man-to-man coverage, and they run him down the field 10, 15, so he gets running room. And about as he starts turning his head, he pushes off the defensive back. And the quarterback is so good. As soon as he sees that head turn, the quarterback is throwing the ball, and he turns around, the ball is right there. But my point is, it seems like they're getting away with offensive pass interference on every single big play, and they almost always hit it when they do this. And I'm just wondering if you've noticed it, or am I just being too picky about looking at that play? It's kind of done to perfection, honestly.
Yeah, it is. It is. And of course, you know what the limits are with what you can get by with. And, of course, good quarterbacks play with that same kind of knowledge and awareness. But you've heard me say before, in critical situations, don't think plays so much as think players. And what you're looking for, if it's going to be a pressure defense, it is going to be man coverage. You're simply looking for the best matchup you can find. And, of course, to go one step further, you can even engineer your formation so that you guarantee the best matchup versus man coverage. That's what good teams do. And certainly Surratt is the guy to go to. Mm-hmm. And he should be an first-team All-Big Ten receiver. That's how good he is.
And the other one's Cooper's really good, too. Both of their receivers are lights out.
You're right. And that brings up a good point. If you have one great defender, then clearly you can say, okay, I want you to travel with Surratt. Wherever he is, that's where I want you to be. And that's why it's so important to have two good corners, because if you have two good receivers, neither one of them is going to be able to victimize you.
This is interesting, caller. You bring this up because when I was watching the Iowa State game, they have that tight end, Ben Bramer. He had a crucial penalty that I'm curious to know if, Don, if you've seen the highlight. He was going downfield, and a cornerback was waiting to, they collided, and Bramer did cause the initial contact and sort of had his arms around the cornerback, but then the cornerback pulled him down, and they did not see. Campbell assumed that they were going to call pass interference on the defensive back. They did not, and it led to a change. Did either of you guys see that play?
I did not. You mean it was a no call?
It was. I believe it was a no call. Yes, and it ended up being a change of possession or something that did. But Bramer did cause the initial contact, and he did come with his arms out, and then the cornerback, undersized, reacted to it by literally just pulling him down, and they didn't call it.
Yeah, it's safe to say there's a pretty wide range of interpretation for how they refer to it as hand fighting sometimes, but you know, the really experienced receiver, typically if you have a good resume as a player, let's imagine the receiver has a better resume than the defender. The officials tend to favor the guy that's supposed to be the better player. And that may not seem very fair, but I think the same thing happens in the NFL, too. You know,
and basketball, too.
Pro Bowl
basketball.
Receiver, Pro Bowl receiver, you get a little more leniency than all the other receivers.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, the rich get richer, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, well, Don, it's been another hour. This has been fun. Before we wrap up, like I said, right now I'm leaning towards Iowa winning this game. I'm not overly confident because I don't know what to expect from Penn State. But how confident are you, Don, now under these unusual circumstances?
Well, you know, I was gonna have a high level of confidence even if James Franklin was on the sideline.
Well, I'd be more confident if it was still James Franklin.
Historically, we've matched up well against Penn State. The reasons are kind of obvious. We have similar mindsets to how to play football. Strong running game, outstanding defense, solid in the kicking game. Don't beat yourself. All those things. You know, win on turnovers. You know, I think if you check in recent years, Kirk's had a pretty darn good record against Penn State.
Yeah, he's held his own, more than held his own.
Okay.
Yeah. So we match up well against him, and that would have been true even if James Franklin was on the sideline.
I agree.
You know, there are more question marks now without Franklin there. So I'd like to think, and like I said, the dynamics are interesting because there might be some group of players. Let's win one for Coach Franklin. Some of those guys. There might be others that simply say, "Well, I'm glad he's gone now, and now I'm not going to be afraid to play free and easy." You know, there's
you don't know
that element. You know, here's an interesting consideration. You know, I know a lot about Andy Kolenicki, you know, the OC, because he was one of my GAs. So one question might come up: has the Penn State offense become more predictable than you might expect, simply because Franklin's got the control over the play caller? I don't know. You know, that's been the thing that people have said about Kirk, that the game gets called the way it does because Kirk influences the play caller, even if it is Tim Lester. You know, there's some truth to that, I guess, with all programs. But I think it's one thing I wonder about. I'd be willing to predict right now Penn State's going to be more wide open than they've been in recent weeks, if only because Andy's got more freedom maybe to call the game the way he wants to call it. And he's an innovative coach. I promise you there'll be some wrinkles he'll have for us that'll probably take advantage of us.
And they're still very talented.
Critical that we still just play sound fundamental football, even if they hit a play on us. Let's just get them on the ground and make them continue to play. Let's not let it turn into a touchdown. You know, we're beating on the play, fine. Let's recover. Let's get him on the ground, make him snap it again.
Oh, I got one nugget that'll make you both feel a little bit better. Okay, Iowa has won 2 Big Ten games against winless teams in the Big Ten, and coming in Saturday is Penn State, winless in the Big Ten.
Yeah, imagine that.
So there you go.
Yeah, so this is.
I like the idea of being able to beat a winless Wisconsin team. I think that's still not as big a hill to climb as to knock off Penn State. Yeah. Having said that, I'm confident we're going to beat them, but we should expect a struggle because I think Penn State's going to give us their best shot.
I'm with you on that one. Yep. All right, Donnie, great stuff as usual. Hopefully we'll be back Monday talking about another big win for the Hawks.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. I'm looking forward to Penn State, and I know you are too.
All right.
Thanks, Coach. All right, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more, breaking it down.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Some clouds around this morning, but increasing sunshine ahead for the day today, and pleasant with highs in the low to mid-70s. Tonight, a mostly cloudy sky, lows pretty close to 50. And for tomorrow, we'll look for a few more clouds around, a couple of showers as well, and highs in the middle to upper 60s. Still a chance of rain Tuesday night. That's your forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently at 62 degrees.
KCJJ weather brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's e-keys for cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's e-keys for cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's e-keys for cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Hanging lights is a pain. Dealing with blown bulbs, dangerous installations, and the endless rat's nest of cords, there's got to be a better way, and now there is. Illuma Lights permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuma Lights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course, lighting for the best season, football season. The Illuma Lights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuma Lights LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. No more ladders, no more hooks, no more wifey's dirty looks. That's the song you'll be singing all year long with Illuma Lights permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Find out more at BigDogTek.net or call 319-395-0800.
Hi, I'm Jim Street, owner of Streets Maintenance. As a licensed, insured, and bonded master plumber, I specialize in all plumbing repairs, including but not limited to water heater and sump pumps to toilet and faucet repairs and replacements. As an Iowa City native, I know how frustrating it can be when any part of your plumbing system breaks down. That's why I only use trusted brands and quality materials. I offer same-day, next-day service coupled with a fair price. I also offer general services to mobile homes. For more information about my business, I'm online at streetsmaintenance.com and Facebook, or give me a call at 400-4483, 400-4483.
Streets Maintenance, honest plumbing at a fair price.
Once upon a time in the land of the Hawkeyes, a business grew. A business that would become synonymous with real estate. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson of Hawkeye Title and Settlement. When you're buying or selling your home, you'll need title and settlement services. Consider the Hawkeye Title and Settlement team. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier, for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a dear and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a dear and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
When someone is kind enough to share their time with us, we better make it worth their while.
They don't want to do people call it the game, right?
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams of Deary Brothers Ford talk about what here for you means to them.
You don't have to spend a half a day in our dealership to get that good competitive price. We just want to try to deliver that to you up front.
And that makes me feel good, makes me proud.
Because that's what people want. They want a fair, honest deal.
As far as the statement here for you, we want to not just say it, but live it.
Find out what it means to you at Deary Ford in Iowa City.
Football fans, this is Bill Leixenring of the Oxyoke Inn. We are on your way to or from the game. We're ready to serve you with the same quality food and customer service you've come to trust for over 80 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyoke Inn.
The next KCJJ radio auction happens this Friday morning beginning at 6. For a list of items, see our website at 1630kcjj.com.
At the top of those ramps, both Ann and I were exhausted.
You're back.
Jim Walker was just saying that we were on national TV walking up the ramps to get to our seats.
Yes.
How'd we look? Exhausted, because we were. If it was at one of the top ramps.
Yeah.
Because there were about 10 ramps that you have to walk up. So that says that our seats weren't very good also.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
But you had fun.
Oh, we had a great time, but it was 58 degrees or whatever, but it was cold up there.
How about Eric and Sheila? Did they have any fun?
Well, they left at half, if that tells you anything. But they were our ride, so they just went to the tailgate and watched the Brewers game.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Hey, quick question, just your opinions. Over the course of the next 10 years, what do you think is the better job? Wisconsin football coach or Iowa football coach?
Well, that's a good question.
I would probably say Wisconsin, just because a little more population. There is no Iowa State in Wisconsin, but I'd say they're still pretty even. But if I had to pick one, I think you could argue Wisconsin's got a couple things that Iowa doesn't have. And
I would agree with that mostly, although I will also say that I have a lot more confidence in Beth Getz as AD than I do their AD. And he's
under fire, isn't he?
Oh, he's going to, yeah. It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know when.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
What's his name? McIntosh?
Chris McIntosh, former lineman.
Yeah, they're again, it's the fans and stuff, but they obviously they're blaming McIntosh for hiring Luke Fickell, as well they should, because he's the one who hired him.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And it's not a match. It's not a good match.
They think McIntosh is a bad apple.
They do, and they're right.
See, bad apple, McIntosh.
Yeah, I got it. That's why you got your bell.
Some comedian posted on X that Urban Meyer got the job, but it's a comedian, guys.
Yeah, but I don't think you're making it sound like everyone in the nobody.
No, people were.
There's some, but hardly. It's nowhere. It's gone nowhere. It's not a thing. I mean, it's not. It's nobody's really buying it.
Yeah, it was in our chat room. That they were
okay, then I guess it's.
It's
just not a thing. It's just don't make it more than what it is. It's really not a thing right now. He may end up getting the job, but he hasn't been. There's nothing.
But what my point is, don't take the word of it's a comedian.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, but I just don't imagine many people are. But you say there
got on my feed they were.
Yeah,
agreeing with.
People are that stupid.
They are.
People are that stupid.
People are that stupid, Pat.
But I don't think it's near as big. You're making it sound like millions of people are like, and it's just not.
No, I've never met that millions of people were.
Okay, I just had to make sure. Media Day, women's tomorrow at 9, and men is Wednesday at noon. So, okay, I just needed to make sure I wasn't missing anything now. Yeah, they wouldn't. Oh, God, the women are the same day as Iowa football media day. That's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how. I'll go from one right to the other.
I guess you will.
Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
You're going to be exhausted, and you're going to be hawk-eyed out.
Yeah, I mean, that's because, tomorrow we've got Jan at 9, the players, and we got Iowa football players at 11, and Kirk at 1:45. That's a lot for one day, but that's this time of year.
So you'll have some good stories.
Yeah, I guess. I'll let the readers
We'll have a lot of sound.
Yeah, there'll be a ton of sound. There'll be a lot of stuff coming this week. With both media days, home game against Penn State, a lot of stuff going on.
So there's some interesting matchups in the Big Ten this week. There's some that are not so interesting, but Friday, Nebraska at Minnesota, that is going to be a dogfight. And I am
Which one?
Nebraska at Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, if it was at Nebraska, I would easily pick Nebraska.
I would too.
I give Minnesota a chance at home, but I think Nebraska's a better team. Nebraska's they're pretty good right now. I mean, their quarterback's good, and they're 5-1. I mean, they're legitimate.
Again, their difference between this year and the past years is they're winning the close games instead of finding a way to lose the close games. So they're ranked for a reason. Washington at Michigan. Washington looked good, but it was against Rutgers, and they looked good the week before as well. Washington's pretty good, and Michigan, I think, is maybe not great.
And where is that game?
At Michigan.
I still think Michigan at home has a decent chance, but no, Washington's they're another team that's 5-1 right now. They're
good.
They're decent.
Yep. Purdue at Northwestern.
I would not be surprised if Purdue won that game, but man, just think Northwestern's a win over Purdue from being 5-2.
I know.
That's incredible.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, looking at the results of the last 3 weeks, is it possible there's no super team or no super team in the Big Ten? I don't know about Ohio State. They haven't played anybody, but you can always play we beat them and they beat them, so we would beat them type thing. But, if you look at Northwestern, what they did, and UCLA, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
Oregon loses to Indiana. We're right in there with Indiana.
Yeah.
Maybe these teams are all pretty close.
I think maybe they are, with the exception of maybe Ohio State.
I think Ohio State's maybe a little
Yeah.
step above. Well, they're the defending national champion.
Yeah. And Indiana's playing awfully well. And as we saw, we could have beaten them and didn't. But
Right.
Indiana's good. Real good.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad. There's probably 50% or more of Hawkeye fans won't be seeing the game Saturday, so because it's on Peacock.
Well, you know what?
So.
They can all see it for like $10 to buy a month and then cancel. And if they're not willing to spend $2 or $10, then I don't think they should watch it. Then they don't deserve it.
I think it's only like $7.99 a month.
Yeah, if you can't spend $8 to watch the Hawkeyes, then you can kiss my ass and watch Iowa State or whoever else you want to watch, because you ain't going to see the Hawks.
Oh, I better buy it then.
Yes, you better.
I don't want to have to do the other thing.
There you go. I'm just helping you out here.
Mr. Hawkeye over there. Mr. Hawkeye.
Well, I'm sorry. If you can't afford $8, then you don't deserve to watch the football game.
Well, it's not it's not even worth arguing about.
No, it sure isn't.
It's ridiculous, but whatever. I don't care what other people do. It's not a matter of whether you deserve. If somebody doesn't want to pay to have Peacock, that's their business.
It is.
They don't need to be lectured by you about being.
Well, but I'm on a show, and I get the opportunity to get on my soapbox if I want to.
Yeah, but that also gives me the opportunity to say it's kind of silly.
That's fine.
Petty. But whatever.
I think Steve is going to back me up here.
I got every streaming service.
And that's your business. And that's your but if somebody who doesn't, that's their business.
Foolish.
I mean.
Eventually, guys, this is the way it's going to be, and it's going to be more
TV's a major part of your life, too.
No, it is not a major part
It
of my
is.
life.
I mean,
No,
you
it
don't have
isn't.
every streaming service and say TV's not a major part of my life. You watch it.
I
There's
got-
a lot of people.
I got every-
I know
it's-
people that barely watch TV. My
it's
next door
our-
neighbors don't even watch TV.
I don't watch TV as much as you think I do. I've got every service because
But not really.
I
My
don't
next,
have
door,
every
my next door neighbors
service.
don't even have. They don't watch TV. They just don't feel any.
No.
They're like, we can turn our computers on. But no, different likes for different folks. That's how I.
What are
look
they
at it.
watching on the computer?
I don't know. I don't ask them. I don't care. It's not my business. I don't care what other people do. That's their business.
I'm just saying that more and more sports is going to be on more and more streaming services, and that's
fine.
just
And if
the way it
people
is.
choose to watch it or they don't.
Yeah, that's right.
I miss a lot of
Yeah.
sports because I'm not buying streaming services.
Hello.
Yeah, the word on the street over here in Nebraska is Matt Rule's going to Penn State, and they're going to hire Nick Saban and take over the world.
There you go.
They're not going to go invade Russia and everything. They're just going to solve all the world's problems.
I could see Saban doing Penn State. I don't know if I could see him doing Nebraska.
No.
But what do I know? None of us know. We're just guessing.
No, I don't either.
So that they're saying, people on the radio in Omaha are saying that it's his job if he wants it.
And they don't know that. They don't know that. How does some radio guy in Omaha know if it's Matt Rule's job if he wants it?
Maybe he's friends with
I don't know.
Yeah, to me that would be a very underwhelming hire if I'm a Penn State fan.
And I agree with you.
He hasn't done enough at Nebraska. He hasn't done really anything at Nebraska yet. They're having a good
No,
season
he's
right now.
0-19 against ranked opponents in his career.
Yeah, I just don't. I know that he went there and what have you, but I don't. To me, that one, I'd rather have Manny Diaz, the Duke coach. He's done a hell of a job at Duke. He's a good coach.
All right, just letting you guys know what they're saying.
Oh, I'm sure.
over
Yeah,
there
that doesn't
in,
surprise me. Yeah, I'm sure.
The Big Red Delusion.
Yeah, and now they're cocky because they're 5-1, and they've got.
And they finally played an away game.
Yeah, and that game was the kind of game in the past they would lose, and they found a way to win it. And I'll tell you, they're pretty explosive on offense. They really are. I got to give them that. They're figuring some things out on offense.
Iowa beat them. Iowa's going to beat them. That's the only game of the year I care about, guys. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay, well, I sure hope the Hawkeyes deliver for you.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not real
man, have a
optimistic.
good one.
I'm not real
All right,
optimistic
thanks a lot.
about that game right now. That game, I'm not overly optimistic about.
You know, between now and then, you could have key injuries on both teams.
But I'm just saying, if everyone
Who knows?
stays healthy, Oregon, USC, and Nebraska, to me, are the three. What I think would be the most likely losses. So that would mean.
Yeah, for sure.
And that means I have them winning Penn State, Minnesota, and Michigan State. And as good as that sounds, that still only means 7-5.
7-5, yeah.
So, but I thought they were going to beat Wisconsin, but I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be a really close dogfight. It wasn't, but that doesn't change my whole thoughts on where the season's going. Wisconsin was nothing. They were not an obstacle at all, and Iowa made them out to be that. They showed that they're just in complete disarray now. But I'm not near as confident about this Penn State game. I'm going to probably pick Iowa to win right now, but I don't know. It's going to be. I wish James Franklin was still the coach because I'd be even more confident that Iowa was going to win.
Well, Penn State's got plenty of talent still.
Well, you could argue better talent.
Yes, of course you can.
They've got more 4 and 5 stars on their roster, but Drew Aller was a 4-star, and he was. I mean, like I said, I don't ever recall seeing him play very well this season. He just never did. He kind of. I thought he was a better runner earlier in his career, but he kind of lumbered around. I was never that impressed with him.
He just never looked quite in flow, did he?
No, and they've got Devontae Ross as a receiver and those dynamic running backs, good tight. They've got so many pieces, but the offensive line has been crap this year too. So I don't know what the story is there. So we'll see. I just worry about the wounded animal type thing and the fact that they may rally behind this guy. We'll see. I mean, it's just hard to predict. I'm glad the game's here in a way, but also, though, I bet you the Penn State players don't mind getting out of town.
Probably not.
Because they know, if they're big Franklin fans, they know that probably 8 out of 10 people sitting in those stands probably wanted James Franklin out of there. So
just imagine how the 105,000 felt watching them lose to Northwestern. You know, I mean, that's just and something that was never on their radar.
And it takes away from the fact that we haven't hardly credit. It's a huge win for Northwestern. I mean, I did not see it coming, but they found a way to win. Their defense played tough. They won 22. Maybe I was glad doesn't play Northwestern or UCLA. If I'm Iowa right now, I'm glad I'm not playing UCLA.
Yes, and Illinois would be a tall.
Illinois, though, falls into that category of game, though, that I think Iowa could win.
Yeah.
If they played well. I would much rather play Illinois than USC, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I'd much rather play at Champaign than in LA against USC.
Always.
And because, I mean, Brett's team, I think this is going to be another 8-4, 9-3 type. They haven't been able to win the big games. Of course, they're better than what Illinois was prior to him getting there, but they're not elite by any means. Michigan's not elite by any means.
No.
But I was not that impressed with Oregon, to be honest with you. I mean, Oregon didn't look any better against Indiana than Iowa did, and you could argue that Iowa's defense looked even a little better than Oregon's defense. I mean, Indiana, what did they score? They scored 30 points, didn't they? Wasn't it 30-20?
Yeah.
They scored 30 points against Oregon.
And unless I'm missing it, Illinois is the only team with a bye this week.
Okay.
Unless I can't find them in all of these games. And
but no, I was really Michigan State is just not trending in the right direction. Their offense, I mean, Childs is just having trouble throwing into tight windows. It seems like he's having to rely on his legs, and then he takes a beating. And I just think that's a game Iowa's going to win. I know they lost up there last year, but playing here, I think they've learned their lessons. I don't think that's a game Iowa's going to lose, and I don't think Iowa's going to lose at home to Minnesota either.
I agree.
Up in Minneapolis, I'd give the Gophers more, but there's been times where I thought Minnesota was going to beat Iowa up in Minneapolis, and they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa's pretty much had his way with P.J. Fleck. Kirk has.
Well, with the exception of the game that they sort of gave him because of
the punt.
Cooper Gene.
The difference between Penn State, Michigan State, and Minnesota, Penn State's got better players.
Yes.
I don't care what's happened the last 3 weeks. Penn State has got better players. And in response to like what Captain's saying, we would never – nobody, I think, would even joke about Urban Meyer taking the Minnesota job or the Michigan State job. But you will post that about Penn State because you know there could be some legitimacy to it because it's Penn State.
Well, yes, and it's a high-profile enough.
It's a high-profile enough job to where a comedian can get on there. Now, Minnesota, no, there's no way in your right mind would you ever think Urban Meyer or Nick Saban would go to Minnesota.
No.
But you could talk yourself into thinking Penn State because it's in there with Ohio State, with Notre Dame, with Alabama, and USC. I still think USC and Michigan belong in there, but they've been struggling a lot lately. I'm not ready to, tradition-wise, I'm not ready to put Oregon over a Michigan yet. But Penn State is the one kind of school that you would maybe see. Don didn't seem overly surprised when talking about possibly Nick Saban coming out of retirement and going to Penn State. I was a little surprised that Don seemed to think that, hey, that could maybe happen. I don't think it will, but Penn State would be the kind of school that could pull it off. I mean, if Kirk retired at the end of this year, do you think there's going to be rumors about Urban Meyer and Nick Saban wanting the Iowa job?
No.
But with Penn State, you can do it.
Yes.
You can do it with Penn State.
Yes.
You could do it with USC. You could do it if Sharon Moore was let go at Michigan right now, which I'm not saying he is. That name Nick Saban with Michigan would make sense.
It would make sense.
There's certain schools that it makes sense with.
All right, now, speaking of making sense, I'm going to put you on the
Good
spot
song.
here.
Stop Making Sense. You like that song?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, you have. It's you've heard it tons of times. It's Talking Heads.
I'm not a Heads fan.
Yeah, but that was one of the more popular. You've even played it. Do you play Stop?
We don't play it here, but we.
But no, the chorus is Stop Making Sense. Yeah. The chorus line. It's Once in a Lifetime by.
Okay.
And the chorus line is Stop Making Sense.
Oh, Once in a Lifetime.
Stop Making Sense.
Heard it a million times.
Yeah.
Great song.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot. And this game takes place at 6:30 Saturday. Number 20 USC at number 13 Notre Dame.
I'm worried as a Notre Dame fan.
I would be too.
Thank God it's in South Bend.
Yeah.
I get it, but I would not be surprised if USC won that. Now, let's say USC goes in there, Notre Dame wins 36. Then I'll think, okay, maybe Iowa does have a little bit more of a chance. Because I was disappointed. Who did USC lose to recently that was sort of a disappointment? Who did they lose to? Did they lose to? No, they beat Illinois. Did they
beat Illinois? It wasn't Maryland.
No, they lost to somebody. I can't. But no, I'm as a Notre Dame fan. No, I'm worried about that game. Notre Dame. They struggled a little bit early with North Carolina State, but they ended up winning. I think it was 36-7. If USC can control Notre Dame's rushing game, that will be interesting. I still think Notre Dame can win that game. That's probably the toughest game left on Notre Dame's schedule. And because remember, Notre Dame's got to run the table to make the playoff.
Yeah.
They're 4-2 right now, but no, that's a tough game.
It is.
And we're going to learn a little bit more about both teams. Now, if USC goes in there and wins by 10-14, then I will say even more that Iowa's in trouble when it goes out to L.A. And I think they're going to be in trouble either way because they just don't handle L.A. road trips very well. And they don't handle teams like you. USC's probably not as good as Iowa inside. Where USC's better than Iowa is the further you get away from the football.
Yep.
The skill positions. That's where they're better than Iowa.
And that's almost always
especially
true.
On offense.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just better that way. But no, I forgot that's who Notre Dame plays this. That'll be on at the same time as I'll be having to watch the Iowa game on the field, but I'll have my cell phone with the Notre Dame because they won't obviously have it on in the press box. So yeah, the Iowa game starts at 6:05.
Yeah,
and it is on Peacock. I forgot about that.
Yep.
But I mean that's their second game this year on Peacock, isn't it? Wasn't it the Indiana game on Peacock?
It's the second game.
I know
it
it's
is
the second game. I just don't remember which other game was on Peacock.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, and Peacock had the. I was watching Peacock the other day because the Notre Dame was on Peacock.
Yeah.
Well, sure, because they're affiliated.
Yeah,
with
I just
NBC.
find that wild though that Notre Dame was on Peacock.
This is the
world we live in. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be more and more of that.
Yeah, and the reason I got Peacock was partly work related. Because Iowa's played on it before. I will say the picture on Peacock is really good.
It sure is.
It's really good. It's better than YouTube. It's actually a better picture than YouTube, in my opinion. When I had that Notre Dame, I mean, I could not believe how clear it was. But yeah, that's just weird to think that Notre Dame. Remember the days when they only play on NBC? God, Notre Dame's on every. They're going to be on True TV the way things are going.
NBC is Peacock.
NBC and Peacock this weekend. Yep.
So you're carrying around that jug of water?
Well, I had it in the car, and for some reason I took a drink, and I inadvertently just carried it in with me, not thinking about it.
Oh.
But I just had it in the car because I didn't have anything else to drink. Yeah, water, baby.
But you're drinking out of a jug.
Yeah, a jug of crystal clear drinking water. I almost bought distilled water by mistake. What happens if you drink distilled water?
It just doesn't taste quite as good.
No, and you'll S.
What have they done to distilled water?
They distilled it.
So yeah, I almost took because they've got crystal clear right next to the distilled crystal clear, and I bought the last one of the drink. This is only $1.79. This is a good deal.
You're drinking out of a jug.
Well, normally I have this at home in my refrigerator, and I pour it into a glass. I just took it in the car with me because I didn't have anything else to drink. I had no pop and anything. I like to have something in case my throat gets.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
This just happened to be in the jug, and I only bought this thing yesterday, and it's almost through a gallon.
You could drown yourself.
And I don't even like water.
You could drown yourself.
Yeah, I guess I could. But I really don't even like drinking water. I'm just doing it because I keep
drink too much water.
Caitlin Clark even said one of her key secrets is drink enough water. And if Caitlin says it, then by God, I'm there.
Caitlin was with Taylor.
Yeah,
Swift.
I know. They're not showing them as much. They don't show them. They used to show them every time.
Is this at the Chiefs game?
Yes.
Their numbers for women are way up.
But I don't need to see Caitlin Clark every time Travis Kelce does something. I mean, or Taylor Swift. That gets old. And thankfully, they did not do it near as much last night. They showed him hugging in the suite, and it's great. Okay, Caitlin's at the game. Who really cares? Do you care?
Obviously, people do because the women numbers are way up.
Women numbers for what?
For viewership.
Viewership of what?
Of the games.
You mean the Chiefs?
The Chiefs. I mean.
So you say all these women are watching for cameo shots?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is
because all I ever read is how bad the NFL's numbers are and how bad the NFL is on social media.
The numbers, the women viewers, are way up for the Chiefs. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you were saying for the entire NFL.
No.
Now, you're saying that's because of Caitlin Clark?
No, I'm not saying because of Caitlin Clark. It's Taylor.
Taylor Swift.
They started showing Taylor Swift, and the numbers jumped. And now they're double.
So you're saying women are watching that game from start to finish just to get shots of Taylor Swift?
I don't know.
See, that's
maybe
pathetic.
they got hooked.
If that's true, that's pathetic.
Well, I'm not sure you said start to finish, did you?
No,
you didn't say start
I'm just saying the viewership.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
If that is true, then that's kind of sad.
That's
God. When are they
what
gonna,
Nielsen says.
When are they going to cut away from this game so I can see Taylor hugging someone?
I'm just saying.
Don't you think that's kind of pathetic? If
that's
true,
whatever people like.
So who's saying this? I mean,
Nielsen.
Okay,
the Nielsen
official ratings.
Service.
Okay, like I said, I haven't seen it.
See, when you watch YouTube now or you watch any of this stuff, it's automatically reported to.
So it's kind of misleading then. Someone could have it on for 5 seconds and it goes down as a. Yeah.
No, they do it by quarter hours.
So, but yeah, how much has it gone up?
It's women numbers have doubled.
My guess is they didn't probably have hardly any to begin with, but I don't think they're watching it for the football product. I don't think that.
Well, I don't know. I know a lot of women that are into football.
I don't. Who name some women you know that are really into football? You just said you know a lot of women that are into football.
My sister.
Okay.
My nieces. My other nieces.
Okay, well,
my nieces.
I mean, that's.
So all your nieces are really into football.
I went into a bar the other day, and all these whores and hookers. They were in
hey, look, there's Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
I'd like to hit that.
What do you want me? I know women.
No, I just think sometimes you tend to exaggerate on the air to push
I'm not exaggerating.
But you've admitted to me before off the. I was sort of kind of pulling your. And I was wondering
yes,
on more than an occasion.
But I'm not.
And so this is not one of the times where you're lying on the air for a bit.
I know women that. Hell,
I do too.
Look at
I just
all the women that we tailgated with that were into.
I just think you're giving Taylor Swift way too much credit. But I know
I'm
you guys
not giving Taylor Swift
credit.
I'm saying Nielsen.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him credit. I'm just saying Nielsen has stated
I'll have to
that
look it
the
up.
numbers. Look it up.
I will. I'm not now. I'll Google it afterwards because you have to admit
Look
you've
it up.
admitted to me lots of times. I was just kind of pulling your ear there. I didn't. You've done that a lot.
Look it up.
I'll look this one up. So you're saying this is one of the exceptions. You're not
Nielsen.
But no, will you admit that you've said that to me? I was kind of pulling your leg on the air. I didn't really. You've done that.
I was pulling your leg about podcasts.
No, but you've done it over the years multiple times. I really was. I was just
now
trying to
that
get
I've
under your
been
skin.
listening to some of them, they really do suck.
Why are you listening to podcasts if you don't like them?
Hello?
Yeah, hey, no, this is true. My granddaughter is a big Taylor Swift fan, had to go out and get Travis Kelce jersey just because of that. She's 12 years old. So if she's doing it, there's a lot more girls.
Oh, there are.
So does your granddaughter now watch the Chiefs from start to finish when they're on? Does she?
No, as soon as they show Taylor, she's done. She turns it off.
Okay, that's kind of what I was saying. I mean, it's not like.
Well, I'm not saying anything but Nielsen. That's
you're
all
making
I'm
it sound like
saying.
these 12-year-old girls are all of a sudden they're turning into Rex Ryan and they're breaking down NFL games. That is believable. What this gentleman just said. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, she still bought the jersey. He got a little money off of that.
She's 12. Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Hey, I got a bone to pick with Suter.
Uh-oh. Pick away.
I pull up to the parking lot Saturday.
Okay.
I'm right behind Nay.
Uh-huh.
I said, Nay, you point out Suter when you see him.
Yeah, I never saw Nay. We never left our Wisconsin tailgate.
Yeah, that's what your other buddy told me, Greg, or there's another buddy of yours that was tailgating with Nay.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't make it over there, but it just didn't work itself out that way.
The whole trip was almost shot just because I didn't get to see Suter. So.
Well, are you going to be at Nay's?
It's a good thing Iowa won.
So is Suter kind of your Taylor Swift?
Do you have my jersey?
Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen him yet.
So are you going to be at Nay's tailgate this coming Saturday? Because we are.
Oh, well, I'll show up then. Yeah,
all right.
I'll walk over.
Okay.
I'm over by Stella's, so I'll just head over.
Okay, do. And then come up and bust my chops and say who you are.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
What was the food you had tailgating up in Wisconsin?
Oh, Sheila made some pulled pork. There was some beer cheese soup that was good. Lots of cheese, crackers, and meat combinations. Sheila went and grabbed a bratwurst, a cheese cheddar wurst for me.
Cheese was definitely the theme.
There was some cheese.
Since you're in Madison.
Yeah.
Since Taylor Swift began attending Kansas City Chief games, the team has seen a significant increase in female viewers, with estimates that her presence has brought in an additional 2 million female viewers to the games and has shifted the team's fan base to be 57% female. Specific age groups
8 to 14,
18 to 24 have shown particularly large increases in viewership.
And all I'm saying is, a lot of those 18 aren't watching the games from start to finish. They're tapping in on them, getting their Taylor fix, and then moving on like that gentleman's 12-year-old daughter. That's all I'm saying. And I will stand by that. So I think those stats are, it just shows you, though, how it's just the idol worship. I can understand a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old, I get, but somebody all of a sudden is going to start following a team that they're 19, 20 years because
18 to 25.
Because Taylor Swift that's just bizarre.
The NFL attained its highest regular season female viewership since it started collecting data in 2000 through Nielsen. It experienced a 53% spike among teenage girls, a 24% increase among women 18 to 24, and a 34% rise among women 35 and above.
Well, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, I'm not, but I still say it's sort of misleading. I don't think there's a bunch of women now watching football from start to finish. Like you say, you only have to be on the channel for a certain amount of time.
No, I'm saying they do the.
I think a lot of them do what that gentleman's daughter does. They get their tailor fix and they move on because they don't care about the product. That's what I'm saying. I think that guy's 12-year-old daughter represents a lot of, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think there's a ton of 17-year-old girls now. Hey, sorry, I'm busy. I got to watch the Chiefs for the next 3. I just don't think that's happening as much as maybe that would suggest. And I will stand by that.
I will stand by Nielsen.
Well, I'm not saying but you also don't have to watch
He's
it.
a great guy.
You don't have to watch it from start to finish, though, to register as a viewer, is what I'm saying.
No, of course not.
No, but their quarter hours are.
Yeah, what I'm saying, though, is I think that gentleman's daughter.
It's not just like 1 quarter hour and then.
But I think that gentleman's daughter represents a lot of what's going on. I mean, it's Taylor's team, so it's cool. But I don't think that they're like.
Hello.
At least I hope not, because that's just bizarre.
Hello.
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 I would just like to say that I don't think Pat Harty's a particular expert on women's viewing habits for football.
I'm not saying I am.
Decide.
I'm just giving my opinion.
I know you're giving your opinion, and I'm giving my opinion.
Yes.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then you do, though. So why do you know that you're what you're talking about, and I don't?
Absolutely.
Just because you're a woman?
Many things, but a woman included.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I have a right to my opinion.
Yes, you do.
And if they're all watching because of Taylor Swift, I find that hard to believe.
She seemed nice.
Oh, these guys are loving it. She's ganging up on me because I don't share your opinion.
I'm not ganging up on nobody. Not ganging up on you. You ganging up on him.
But no, what I'm saying is I just have a right. I just don't believe it is as cut and dry as what you guys are saying. I think it's sort of misleading. That's all I'm saying. I just don't think there's a ton of 17 and 18-year-old women watching Chiefs games from start to finish.
Okay, but I just gave you figures 35
But
above.
I've also know that you
Yes,
don't have to
please.
watch it for an extended period. If you're on it for a certain amount of time, it counts as a viewership. They do it like you said. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I seem to have struck a nerve with that lady. Well, sorry. I mean, I have a right to my opinion just like she does.
Yes, you do.
And she was basically saying since she's a woman, she knows more about this than I do, and maybe so. But she didn't say whether she's one of the people that are now watching the Chiefs from start to finish. Huge Chiefs fans. At least I don't think she said that, did she?
I believe she said all of that and more.
No, she never said. I don't recall. I don't recall her saying she was now a Chiefs fan.
I don't have any idea.
We don't know.
But
I don't know.
I have a right to my opinion.
Yes, you do.
See, but you love stuff like this. You got just what you wanted out of this.
What did I want out of this?
Pull out your Nielsen ratings. No, I mean you guys. No, I'm just saying this all goes back to the Taylor Swift. I mean, she's bigger than life. I get it. You guys love her. I get it. I just find it hard to believe that so many people.
Well, my daughter loves her. I like her fine.
Does your daughter watch the Chiefs now?
No.
That's all. I just think. I don't know.
I'm not proud of my daughter for that either. I think she should watch just because of Taylor.
The Chiefs?
Of course.
See, I'm a Bears fan. I don't like the Chiefs.
Oh, neither does Taylor. Taylor doesn't like the Bears.
Yeah, but I'm a Bears fan, so I don't care who Taylor likes.
Okay.
I'm all in with Taylor.
So you're a Chiefs fan now because of Taylor Swift?
No.
I mean, I don't dislike the Chiefs.
No, I like the Bears.
I mean, if the Bears play the Chiefs, I'm cheering for the Bears. I'm sorry, Taylor Swift fans.
But other than that, I like the Chiefs for Mahomes.
I don't mind Mahomes. I mean,
I like the Bears too.
I don't like or dislike Mahomes. I don't really.
I do like the Meghan Trainor commercial with Patrick Mahomes. It's pretty good.
I respect his ability. He's a great player. I don't know him enough personally to whether I like.
I just like to watch him play.
But he's fun to watch play. He's been to 5. He's been to 5 Super Bowls. He's won 3, and I know a lot of people don't like him, and so. But yeah, no, I sorry, lady, if I struck a nerve, but
hello.
Oh God.
Hey Pat.
Yeah.
So starting today, is it the 30-day window for transfers to leave Penn State?
I believe so, yeah. And a bunch of guys have already decommitted.
So do you think Penn State then, in your opinion, will have a head coach by the end of the season, before the end of the season?
That's a tough question because, like Don said, we don't know how many they're interested in that are still coaching. Because if they're still coaching, and most are still coaching, you know, Nick Saban and Urban Meyer are about the only. I mean, Pat Fitzgerald. Those are the three that are out there that you would say would be candidates if they wanted to be candidates. But all the other ones are coaching, so it's hard to say.
Do you think Jimbo Fisher would be interested?
I'm sure he'd probably be interested. I mean, why not? But I don't think that. You think Jimbo Fisher would sell to Penn State after how he failed?
I don't
at Texas A&M?
think that Penn State would be remotely interested in Jimbo Fisher.
No, I don't think.
But I think Jimbo might be interested.
I'm sure he would. But Jimbo did nothing at Texas A&M, and he got like an $80 million buyout.
Yeah.
I mean, James Franklin's buyout's the second largest behind Jimbo's. I don't think Jimbo would be a sell for Penn State fans at all. I don't think it'd be a good fit.
And since people were bringing up Saban and not really caring about his age, what about Tom Osborne?
No, Tom Osborne's like
80?
He's like 90 almost, I think. I mean, Nick Saban's way younger and in way. Tom Osborne's got to be. He retired in '97, so he retired 28 years ago, and he was old back then.
Yeah, he's got to be well in his 80s.
Yeah, look it up. I've seen him recently, and I'm not, but he looked old. I mean, I don't know if was he joking on that one, or was he being serious on that? I was waiting. But I'm guessing Tom Osborne has to be somewhere at least 80.
88.
Yeah.
So I would say Tom will not be coaching the Nittany Lions this year.
He's almost 20 years older than Nick Saban. Nick Saban, I believe, is right around 70, 71.
I think so.
And he has aged very well.
Yes,
he's stayed in great shape and what have you. Nick Saban, I could see that. I mean, that's why I'm guessing that's partly why that comedian did that, because he knew there would be some belief in it because it's Penn State, because Penn State can carry that.
Yeah,
that's true. But it'll be interesting. I'm going to guess and say, you think Saban's going to be the next Penn State coach? I don't.
I don't.
I don't think it's going to be Urban Meyer either.
I don't think either of them. I think it'll be somebody who's coaching right now.
You think it'll be Pat Fitzgerald?
Possibly.
I think he's got a better chance for Wisconsin.
I think he would be a perfect fit for Wisconsin.
I do too. And
he gets the Big Ten. He gets what Wisconsin football is.
And he also coached at a school that had more built-in disadvantages than Wisconsin.
Oh, that's
I think
true.
it'd be easier for him. He's from the Chicago suburbs, so he knows the recruiting base. So what were your fans up there saying about Pat Fitzgerald? Did his name come up?
They didn't say anything. No. They didn't have... There was a bit of discussion about Jim Leonard, but the bottom line there is he will not come back if McIntosh is still the AD.
And what's Leonard doing now? He's a coordinator somewhere, right?
He's in the pros. I'm not sure which team.
I'm not sure. How galvanizing of a hire do you think that would be?
Hello.
I don't know.
Hello.
Hey.
I don't have much to say, but I was going to say, listening to you talk about women, I have a feeling that Pat's right.
I
think he has.
Well, it's not a matter of being enough. I just think the stat is sort of misleading. That's all I'm saying. I understand Taylor Swift is the greatest thing ever. I get it. I'm saying is I find it hard to believe that.
I know a lot of women who just look in at the thing. As soon as they see her, they turn it off.
That's all I'm saying. And I upset that one lady, and these guys disagree with me, which is fine. I mean, because
there's a lot of ladies that can be upset, but that's what I've heard from a lot of people. Oh, I don't watch the game. I just look in, and when I see Taylor Swift, then I turn it off.
And am I wrong to say, I find that a little odd.
I think it's ridiculous.
I just can't.
Oh, I think it's completely ridiculous.
I just can't believe people have such spills over other people. Taylor Swift.
Well, there's people that have such idol worship. I don't get it. I have idol worship, so I don't do that kind of stuff.
I mean,
but there are a lot of them that do.
Taylor Swift. I mean, I just don't get the idol worship stuff.
No, I don't either.
I mean, she's a singer. She's a great singer. I mean,
it's an escape.
Escape from what?
From all the other crap that's going on, and in your life, in the world.
And I wasn't trying to escape. And I wasn't trying to insult. All I was saying is I was trying to give women a little bit more benefit of the doubt of saying they're not just watching the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. I think that's sort of misleading. That's all I was trying to say. And Karn agrees with me.
Well, some of them are and some of them aren't.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're all that way. I just can't. I just find it hard. I'm trying to imagine watching like a 16-year-old high school. Dad, shut up, man. The Chiefs, it's 3rd and long here now. Wait, what do you think they're going to – that's all I'm saying.
I think they're more likely to say, hey, there's Taylor.
Yes. and then start crying.
And then go in the kitchen and make a pie.
And then cry because they just saw Taylor Swift hugging
You think
Caitlyn.
they're making a pie, Suter?
I'd say a cake.
Some of them. Some of them were worrying about that crust.
But I did see someone tweeted a media thing. They don't show her near as much in games anymore. And partly, Travis Kelce doesn't do as much
Well,
anymore
I
as he
think
used to.
you just hit on it.
But they're not showing her as much anymore. I mean, there was a couple years where it was just weird. Every time between plays, they'd go up to the press box and show her. You know, I don't get it.
And I got a little tired of that, but same way when they do the Cowboys, they have to show Jerry Jones
That's another
all
one.
the
They
time.
keep showing Jerry Jones over and over. I don't get it.
So, Karn, you're not a Swiftie, I take it.
Well, I don't mind listening or singing, but I don't idolize anybody.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
Fair enough.
That hurts my feelings.
Not even this show. Wow.
Okay, I'll idolize you guys.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
That's all I've just never understood the idol.
No, you don't. I don't either.
I don't get the idol worship stuff.
Have a good day.
All right,
Thanks, Karn.
I get it because
that's your opinion, yeah.
That's what we dabble. Well, that's what we dabble in.
What do you mean? I don't dabble in
Well,
idol
with
worship.
pushing, artists and crap, and that's what
Pushing an artist isn't the same as worshiping them.
No, but it's I don't know if
I mean, I never understood
if worship's.
I never understood the Beatles, those old black and white grainy things of the Beatles,
girls
and the
going
girls
crazy.
crying. I mean, I've never understood that.
It's an escape from your life,
from your life as a
ordinary-
14-year-old.
Yeah.
God, my life is okay.
I mean, it just is.
I guess I've never needed an escape. And I've had plenty of great times at concerts, but oh God, there's Jerry, and I start crying.
What about Don Knotts?
I don't worship Don Knotts. I've called his character trash on Andy Griffith. I just find it humorous.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's Greg calling from Chicago.
Hey, Greg.
It's not just you guys, but there all of a sudden is a lot of talk about Pat Fitzgerald, getting a coaching job again.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just that being here in Chicago, there was more reporting on all that went on. And I know he settled his lawsuit. But to me, if I'm an athletic director, he still has a lot of explaining to do.
Oh, I would agree with that.
I would too.
I didn't know what was going on. He's the head coach.
No, I would agree with
He
that.
didn't know what was going on. That's an issue.
But didn't the university clear him of any direct knowledge and wasn't that part of the settlement?
So.
But Pat, that's what I'm saying. He's the head coach of a football program
I get you.
for 10-plus years.
No.
I'm concerned that he didn't know what
No,
was
you're
going
right. You could make an argument either way. Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
I see what you're saying. You could say, okay, yeah, he had nothing to do with it, but it was still going on right before his eyes. Because Kirk got blamed for that with Chris Doyle, the blind spot stuff, different circumstances. But no, I get you. No, it makes sense.
Was fair blame.
No.
It's in both situations. It's not that these guys were like first or second year coaches. This was their
No,
program.
you're right about that.
I just don't think just because he settled a lawsuit absolves him of everything. I think that an athletic director would have a lot of questions.
I agree.
to ask
No, you're right. That's a
before
fair
making him
point.
in charge of a program again.
That's a fair and accurate point.
And as a coach, I mean, what he did at Northwestern was amazing.
Okay.
I mean, they still would have bad years, but overall, for the disadvantages that Northwestern have, he was a heck of a coach. Don't get me wrong, but I just think.
No, I'm with you on that. And you could also argue, Randy Walker was doing a pretty decent
Yes, he
job at
was.
Northwestern before he died, suddenly
He
of a
was,
heart attack.
yeah.
Gary Barnett had success at Northwestern, so it's been done by others before. You're right, though. I mean, that probably is something that's not going to make Pat Fitzgerald more appealing than a Manny Diaz or, of course, a Kurt Signetti. The thing with Signetti, though, is he is going to be 65 by the start of next football season.
But
it
my
doesn't
God.
seem to matter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
What
seem to
in
matter.
the world? How did nobody except Kurt Signetti saw this coming?
Well, and it's not as if he hasn't won wherever he's
Oh,
been.
no.
He's won wherever he's been.
Yes, he
it's
has.
really been an incredible story.
So then why did it take him so long?
I don't know.
Just about coaching in general, I think there's going to be a change of what's perceived as a good job and bad job because I think Indiana has money. And
Oh,
so
they do.
They
I don't
do.
know that Kurt Signetti would be willing to leave. I mean, he probably wants to stick it to everybody that looked over him for all these
Well,
years.
I saw somebody
And
on
I think
Twitter.
Indiana has a pretty good NIL.
Some
Yeah,
college
they
football
do.
talking head, I can't remember his name, but he's somewhat national. He was going down the list of why Signetti would not leave right now because Indiana has they've upped their NIL. They've got a huge NIL contribution going on. They've got plenty of money to pay him. Their basketball makes money. He made it sound like Indiana's swimming in money, and he's already a legend there. So he said that it would make no sense for Cignetti to go to Penn State. That's what I can't remember. I think his name was Josh Pate or something. I don't remember for sure. But what he said made a lot of sense.
And I also thought Saban really got out of coaching more because he didn't want to deal with the NIL.
That's the other good point. He did. And that's not going to change if he goes to Penn State. Yeah, he just didn't want to deal with being held captive by players who are in it basically for money first. So yeah.
Well, it is.
It's amazing how hard it is. It is amazing how hard it is. When everybody's on the same playing field. I found that interesting with Saban too. So I mean, Alabama.
No, these are good points you're making, Greg. And it's not like Urban Meyer doesn't have a little bit of baggage too. I mean, he's had.
But everyone isn't on the same playing field, though.
I thought he left Ohio State because of all his health reasons. So
well, there is.
Wasn't that spend more time with his family, or was that when he left Florida?
Yeah, I don't know. There was just some. There's been some times where Urban maybe has made some decisions that
were iffy.
Yeah. So, but I still say if Urban Meyer wanted a job, he's going to get serious consideration for it because he wins.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, he wins. He wins big.
It's all about the money, peeps.
Guys, as always, enjoy the show.
Thanks. Okay,
all right,
thanks.
But it is. It's all about the money. And if a institution feels that Pat Fitzgerald is the answer to making their football program elevate, then they're going to hire him.
I think Penn State will think that they can do better than Fitzgerald, whereas Wisconsin maybe won't.
Maybe so. That's
just me.
Maybe
that's
so.
just my opinion, and hopefully I didn't offend anybody with
that.
But
I think it's safe to say, Pat, that the Penn State higher-ups are good at looking away from what may be taking place on their campus.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've had obviously a very
just a thought,
very checkered past.
Yes, they have.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I did not expect Franklin to get fired in season. I did not see this coming.
Yeah,
especially for $56 million.
Evidently, whoever their provider is, their clothing provider, whether it's Under Armour or whoever it is paying the bulk of his buyout.
That has been reported.
Yes.
But it's also been shot down by multiple
Penn
State people. Yes. Some guy who's now getting rich. His name was James Asti or something like that. He put it out there, and other people are saying there is not an inch of truth to this thing. So I don't know what to
Interesting.
believe. He's saying that but see, their Adidas contract doesn't start until 2026. But he's saying that they're the ones that have agreed to pay it off, but Adidas won't be giving them any money for another year.
But nobody's backing him up?
No one is hardly backing him up. I did see what you're talking about. And like I said, I don't know what the truth is. All I know is I looked up Spike Lee, and he was worth $50 million last time I looked him up. James Franklin's buyout's worth more than Spike Lee. Think about that.
Well, that's just a stupid deal.
Think about how crazy that is, though, where college sports is right now. He's basically being told to walk away for $56 million.
Well, the Michigan State guy had a $95 million buyout. He was so stupid.
He did stuff to. I mean, James Franklin hasn't done anything to jeopardize. What do you call that? The behavior clauses and what have you. So I mean, just
with cause. Yeah.
I mean, these buyouts are just ridiculous. But you can't blame a head coach for getting a buyout.
I don't blame the head coaches at all.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just speaking. I mean, if a head coach if they're dumb enough to give some guy an $80 million buyout, would you not take it?
Of course you would.
Of course you would.
No, I blame the people making the deals.
But think about the amount. This is going to be about $100 million to $120 million hire. They got to pay $56 to have him go, and you're going to have to come up with at least $9 to $10 million a year for at least 5 years. I mean, you're going to have
absolutely.
You're going to have to come up with close to another $50 million to move on without him. So that's about $100 million, and it just sounds like it's business as usual. That's what's amazing. And I will say, I did read something. I kept hearing from all these people that don't like Taylor that her new album was going to do crap because the country's moved away from her. Isn't it like just selling at like record highs?
Of course.
And see, those people they're just delusional. They want it to happen, so they say it's going to happen.
People like to watch people fall,
but
and I don't get that.
I don't get it either. But I think a lot of this is political. She's the enemy of the far right, right?
100%. Yeah.
And a lot of these were far.
Well, they're already attacking Caitlin this morning.
For being in the booth with her?
For being in the booth.
Well, that's happened before.
Yeah.
But no, I kept reading her days are numbered. The nation has moved on from her. You watch with the release of this album.
No.
And then I saw something on TV last night saying it's selling at a record pace.
Yeah, the downloads
100%.
The first night beat everything.
And those aren't just left-wing people buying those.
No.
So that was something I think those people were hoping would happen.
Yeah,
and it's not going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. I think it's only going to make. I think it only makes her more popular in some ways. Don't you? The controversy.
Controversy to point. I mean, she's just a really good artist.
Yeah, and she appeals to the 18 to 24 crowd like few ever have.
And she's a good person.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
it sounds like it. I've got
very
no
generous,
a lot of good.
Very
but
philanthropic.
I don't need to see her hugging people in the suite.
She likes to hug people.
Every time Travis Kelce catches a 7-yard down and out.
Hugging people.
I know.
She's a hugger.
So when she hugged Caitlin, how did you handle that? Were you okay? Or did you cry?
I did.
You did cry.
I teared up.
That was a big win for the Chiefs, though, last night. If they lost, they would have been 2-4.
Well, the Chiefs have had some issues.
Now they're getting healthy, though. Their best receivers.
Hunter.
What's that?
I've hugged Hunter.
Hunter, are you a Chiefs fan? No, Hunter's a Packers fan.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they're 3-1-1. I'll tell you, they always find a way to win, man. It's amazing how consistent they are. Well, but us Cubbies, we had a good year. I was more than pleased with the Cubs. You think they're going to sign Schwarber?
I would love them to.
You watch. I will say the same thing. You watch. He'll come back to Chicago, and he'll hit 220 and get like 39, 40 home runs. What's his average now, Hunter? Is he at – because when he was with the Cubs, he hit literally between like 180 and 220.
Yeah.
I assume he's upped his average a little bit?
He has, but not
Well, if you hit that many –
280.
as long as you can hit 250 and hit all those homers, hey. And what position does he play?
Yeah, he's DH.
Okay. So, yeah, no, I mean, like I said, he is way better than I thought he was going to be, even as a power hitter. And he does seem like a good clubhouse guy. He seems like the kind of guy that the Cubs would rally around. So I just hope the Cubs do they need to get another pitcher and what have you. And, I'm not sure who the UI athlete's going to be for Wednesday, but I'll talk to Weitzel.
Good.
We'll have somebody. And, basketball men's is noon on Wednesday, so I can just go from here over to there, and tomorrow's is at 9, so we don't have anything here. But we'll have somebody from some sport from UI on Wednesday. I'm just not sure yet.
Sounds good. All right, so thanks to Coach Don Patterson for joining us as always. Molly Suter is next. Hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It is free.
Download the new KCJJ